Well, hello. If you could sign in, there's a link in the chat, um, and I believe that's all.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when you sign up, you get like credit for the club.
Yeah, you get like the points.
What do the points go towards?
I think for gift cards and like swag and like stuff towards the end of the semester, I think.
Wait, where's the link?
I will post it again.
Yeah, sorry about
Oh.
that. I forgot Zoom doesn't
Okay.
keep the chat.
Yo, Zoom's trash for that. It's
Yeah, it
like,
really is.
Like you come in there, it's like, oh no, the chat only starts when you enter.
Yeah, it's kind of terrible like that.
You can continue. I sent the link.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago we sent out that interest form and the sign-up form, and so we took a look at the feedback, and based off that feedback from the interest form, it seemed that most people kind of had a medium understanding of general when it came around with technology. A lot of people felt confident, fairly confident with like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What was that? Somebody say something?
No, I didn't say something. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, so it seemed like people's most confident, obviously, a lot of people were most confident with C coming into UCF. That's like one of the first ones they teach you. CSS and HTML, I think a lot of people kind of pick up either before they get to UCF or during, because you kind of have to pick it up. I'm not sure. I'm a CPE, so I'm not sure. Do they teach you guys like CSS and HTML or no? They just kind of toss you like as far
No.
as like JavaScript, CSS, HTML goes. They just kind of toss you into it.
There's an IT class that covers it. That's about it. But like
Wait, what class is it?
For IT, it's called web-based IT. They go over HTML, CSS, JavaScript, a little bit of Node and stuff.
Okay.
But honestly, like it's not what you'd want to get out of it. Honestly, I think you
okay, never mind.
I think as a CS major, you are able to take it as an elective, but it's if you're willing to put in the time, it's more worth it to kind of learn it on your own. But if you know you're not ever gonna pick it up, I guess it's worth taking.
Yeah. I don't know much about it because I know like as far as it goes for CPE, they don't really teach you that kind of stuff. But we have a couple like CS classes where it's required, at least for like tech electives and whatnot. Yeah, so like I was saying, based off the feedback that we got, a lot of people felt confident with those languages. Java, obviously, UCF's big on Java, C, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So it seems like everybody kind of has a good understanding of those kind of things, and those come in handy, especially when it comes to web development. I know I'm not super experienced as far as mobile development goes, but I know it's definitely not used as often there. So I think mobile development might be kind of harder to get into, at least as far as prior experience comes into play, because unless you specifically seek it out, you don't really learn it much in the course load. So also based off the feedback, everybody kind of had a good understanding. I think most people had used GitHub before. Not everybody was an expert with GitHub. I also noticed, as far as it came to what they wanted to see from the committee, like separate projects for mobile and web was the most popular choice. Like people wanted a small web development project and maybe a small mobile development project. So I tried to come up with ideas, at least for web development, around that. And I think Alice said she had one or two ideas as far as mobile development went. And people also said that they really wanted to see some resources from the committee, like an intro to, maybe intro to this stack or intro to this stack or maybe intro to this framework kind of resources. So we plan on kind of putting together some materials and making that available for you guys. So the plan, I didn't have time to come up with clever names for these slides, but so the plan is to offer ideas like for the committee to work on. If they like the ideas, then, go ahead and run with it. We want to start having bi-weekly meetings. So I think the next one we would schedule for October 4th. We're shooting for Sundays, but again, we'll get in the Discord and we'll try to get more feedback on what times work best for everybody. I know somebody today said they were working, so a later time would work for them. So we'll try to work on that. So bi-weekly meetings where we offer resources on getting started with web and mobile development is kind of what I had in mind. Obviously, like for people that are more experienced, we always have the Discord open for questions and, concerns along with that. If we start getting feedback that's like maybe maybe a lot of you guys are way more experienced than we thought, then we can start moving towards like more intense resources, I guess. Not more intense, but just like more, I don't know how to phrase it, but you know what I mean. Resources that are for more people that are more experienced, not just like intro to LAMP stacks, because if you already worked on a website that used a LAMP stack, then you know what you're doing there. So including the resources, obviously we want to have an active Discord committee. So like if you have questions on the resources, or maybe you're working on another project that you need help with, like I know processes of object-oriented software, I think that's the name of the class. I took it over the summer. It's a really popular one, and that's kind of like, at least for computer engineers, that's the class where you really start with web development and mobile development, or at least they put you in projects like that. So if you're somebody going into that class, especially as a computer engineer who's never done anything in that wheelhouse before, the Discord is a great place to ask questions and get help. So obviously, I'm no expert, and I'm always learning every day as well. So if you have a question, feel free to ask it. I'll try my very best to answer it. And I'm sure there's people in the Discord who, everybody has their specializations who can answer your question. So I also wanted to mention that, like, if you have your own idea, we'll discuss, and I'll leave the floor open to ideas as far as sorry about that. So we'll discuss, the ideas that I had come up with and the ideas that Alice had come up with as far as projects go. If you have your own idea, obviously you don't have to pick one of our ideas. If you want to go off on your own, there's nothing better than seeing your idea come to life by your own code. So go ahead and run with it. Post up questions, ask us about anything you need, and we'll try our best to answer it. So that's pretty much all I had for the slide. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, let us know. Alice, if you have anything to include, I'm sorry if I'm just like running here. So please go ahead if you have something you'd like to say.
So the point of this meeting is to like really hear everybody else's feedback. Do you guys maybe have anything that you'd be interested in trying out? Any project ideas that you want to like let us know about?
Yeah, I don't really have any like ideas specifically, but I'm just kind of here to kind of like absorb or just like participate in what we do end up doing, and mainly just so I can learn a lot of things, because I'm not very good with any web dev stuff. So I'm just trying to learn is all.
Yeah, so me and Steven, we're planning to have maybe a project each week, one for mobile dev and one for web dev. Would that be cool where everybody have the option to like one pick, like go into the web dev route or go into the mobile route? Or would you rather focus on like one project each week and have everybody working on the same thing?
I feel like splitting it up could be nice because I feel like some people know like some things about mobile, some people know some things about web. Like I know for me, like I definitely know a lot more about like web development, but I don't know as much about like app development. But like sometimes there might be things that I don't know about web development where I would want to, like go to the other one.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Giving us more options.
So when it comes to web dev versus mobile dev, is it what's kind of like what's the overarching like differences between them besides like I don't know like for mobile dev like I don't know being familiar with like was it Xcode I think and Android stack and Java is it just really those things with everything else or like how is mobile dev different from web dev?
I want to actually say it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
When you're coding, like anything to appear, it's basically the same thing. The languages are different, the platforms are different, but overall, like it's the same idea, and a lot of like the like thoughts behind it can be transferred on like both projects, which is why I think it would be interesting to give you guys like options to pick, like what you guys want to do each week.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times when it comes to the difference between web and mobile dev, it really comes down to the front end. When it comes to the back end, a lot of what you're doing is pretty much the same. Like you share the same, like if you were to create an app that also had a website, you could share the same back end while having two different front ends, two different UIs essentially, one for your mobile app and then one for your website. It's really pretty similar. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with React Native at all, but I used that to build a mobile app before. Like I said, I'm not super experienced with mobile apps, but I used React Native and it was really like just building the front end of the mobile app and then separately building the front end of the web app. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you.
And like as an artsy person, I love like making everything look nice, and I think the thought process behind like making a website and like a mobile app is basically the same. So if you're interested in like, I guess what I'm saying is that if you're interested in web development, you'll enjoy mobile development for sure.
Cool. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so would you guys, would you guys prefer like, I guess like a web project separate from your mobile project? Do you want to pick a direction? Or do you want to kind of do something that includes both? I would recommend like if you want to do something that includes both, that you probably want to do teams. And I don't know how you guys feel about teams. I know sometimes like people get nervous, I guess, when it comes to working on a team because you don't want somebody else steamrolling your ideas or steamrolling what you want to do. So
I mean, I feel like that could work, and maybe you can try to have people on like different experience levels like mixed together, so it can kind of be like, even though like y'all are kind of like probably leading like the learning experience, there could still be people like helping out, so it won't be as many questions to kind of help the progress.
yeah. Okay. So Alice, did you have any ideas as far as it comes for the mobile app project that you wanted to run by?
Yeah, I sent the list in our Discord chat. I don't know if you wanted to like announce those today. Do you want me to like talk about them right now?
I guess we don't have to announce them today. If we want, we can take this outside the meeting and then, make an official list and then release it this week.
Yeah, so guys, keep an eye out for the chat. We're gonna be releasing like our projects. I have something in mind, but if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to like DM me and let me know.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Anything you want to see?
No one had suggestions for the debate.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
How was working with React Native? How'd you like that?
How'd I like it?
Be honest.
Be honest, I actually really enjoyed it.
Really?
In my process of object-oriented software class, I guess POOS for short, but we built a mobile app, and I was supposed to be in charge of the website, but you know how teams go, and they botched the app, so I kind of had to spend like 12 hours trying to get the app up and running. But once I got it, I used Expo, and once I got it like up and running, I actually really enjoyed like the development and creating an app.
So wait, you're telling me that you got Expo to work with React Native,
Yes.
and you had a database.
And we had a database.
What database? Tell me your secrets.
We used MongoDB.
Bro, we used Firebase. That didn't work at all.
I was gonna use Firebase, but I guess thank God I
Okay,
didn't.
don't.
Firebase is great. Oh my god.
Firebase is not great with Expo. Firebase and Expo don't go
never
well
mind.
together. And we found that out 2 days before our final submission.
I
That
just used
none
like
of our
Firebase
data was
and
being
React.
stored.
Just Firebase and React. That's all I've like used it with before.
We
Like just
had
like normal React, though, like JavaScript.
I've heard
Yeah.
that Firebase is great. It's just that we did not know that Firebase and Expo don't go well together. And that's why like when Steven mentioned like React Native, I was like, oh my God.
It's like really good with
Everyone-
React or like just JavaScript.
I don't know. We had a bunch of problems with React Natives, like with the dependencies, where if one updated and the others that relied on those dependencies didn't update at the same time, then everything would break. And then halfway through, it just stopped working on Android. And by the end of like the project, it just didn't work on any phone at all.
Oh,
so we had to
no.
use the simulation on my computer to film the final presentation.
No.
Because we knew like, that's the thing, we knew the app worked, but the dependencies were just a nightmare to work with.
I'm scared. I take that class next semester.
Oh, but like maybe they changed whatever's going on with their dependencies. So like, I don't know, this was in spring. So.
Okay.
I mean, MongoDB worked fine. The only problem we ran into was trying to store like base 64 strings for images.
Mhm.
And then we kept getting like insane load times whenever we tried to load anything. So we had to like reroute it through AWS has like a storage system. So we had to do it that way. But other than that, it worked out great.
Dude, I wish. We were trying to store logins and stuff like that. And then it was being stored. Like we knew that something was being stored. And then we're like, oh, let's check the dashboard. I don't know why we decided to wait like 2 days before the final submission. None of the passwords and usernames matched up with the actual user.
Oh no.
Or the emails or anything like that. It was a complete mess. We were like, we can't.
What'd you
who's gonna
get?
see
Did you
this?
get a good grade at least?
We got a really shitty, we didn't get a shitty grade. We just got a lot of points knocked off for not having a database that works.
I mean, Lineker, did you take it with Lineker? He's usually pretty.
I took it with,
He's pretty forgiving.
Our POOS class was pretty much senior design, like a mini senior design without the paper writing part. Like the entire semester was spent on one project.
Dang, that's rough.
Yeah, you could do anything. We could have built a robot. We could have done whatever the hell we wanted to do.
Really?
He didn't care. Just he
That's
wanted something. It was something.
We had
But
to do a MERN stack. Like
you did?
Yeah, it wasn't like a discussion. Our first project was a small one and it was a LAMP stack, and then the second one had to be a MERN stack.
What kind of languages are do you think you guys are going to use for web and mobile?
I mean, I imagine for web, obviously HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I mean, as far as the back end goes, we could do PHP, or if we did something like a MERN stack, it would be JavaScript, like a JavaScript all around type of
So
app. But
our website uses Hugo and Bootstrap
Bootstrap. I love
CSS.
Bootstrap.
Yeah, Bootstrap's great. Like I've been finding everything.
Yeah.
There's some JavaScript in there, but like barely any. Nothing that like people would have to edit. And the front end matter is either in Toml or YAML. So
Okay.
yeah, and there's already like pre-filled out templates and stuff like that. It's just like throwing it out there if anyone wanted to look into that, because you could easily build a website and still learn how to code doing that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I meant to do some like research on, because I don't really know much YAML or Toml.
Dude, it's like, oh my God, do you know Markdown?
Just a little bit. Like I'm not super
Okay.
experienced in Markdown.
It's like, it's just front end matter. You like fill in fields and then it shows up on the website.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, it's dope. But you have to write scripts that like know how to read the top. I don't know how to do all that. The website came with the template and I just let it do its thing. I'm not gonna go read through like 10,000 lines of code to figure out how it's doing it. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there if people just want to learn those kind of languages, like the front end stuff, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I really like Bootstrap. Is like one of my favorite like front end frameworks. It's really nice. Makes everything
It's so easy to work with
and
compared to like others.
yeah.
I've tried. Yeah, that's my little tidbit. Let me just mute myself again. Good talk.
I've also used like C# for a back end, but that gets a little more complicated as far as, I mean, it doesn't get complicated, but C# is pretty powerful, and it depends on the website you're creating. I guess it would be unnecessary, like some of the Microsoft frameworks. But yeah, that's all I had for this meeting. Like I said, me and Alice will get our list together and we'll send it out this week, and then by October 4th, we'll have some resources together for building those applications or the ideas that we send out. So that's pretty much all I had. Alice, did you want to add anything before we close out?
No, just keep an eye out on our chat, and I'm excited to like see what you guys make in the future.
Yeah, I think we should have like some presentation meetings or something like that where we can see what people work on. I think that would be
Yeah,
probably
that would be
ask
super
for
cool.
should probably ask for their GitHub so that you guys can add them to like a team.
Yes.
And then they can have their repositories on, like they can be the owners of the repositories.
We can send out a form
on the
like
organization
this week for collecting GitHubs in the Discord. And that
you
way
can also
people
look at the one from projects, because I know that a lot of people like overlap. So not projects, projects and workshops. You can look at those and see where there's overlap before like bothering everyone again for their GitHub.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Alrighty, does anybody else have any questions before we close the meeting out here?
Actually, that brought up a good question. So can you tell me like some of the differences in focus between web and mobile dev and projects, besides like projects being a little bit more broad in regards to like the projects and things we will do in this one compared to projects?
I think we kind of want to focus on smaller projects. Alice, am I correct in that assumption?
I think since everybody's super like I want to say from the feedback form, not a lot of people are experienced. I think we want to keep the projects small and like fun, so it gets you guys interested in doing this and like learning more about it. But like in answering your question, there's really if there's something that you want to do, just let us know and we'll be down to do it.
Yeah, we also want to offer a lot of
like flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility, information, resources, make sure you
Which is why we're
right
having this meeting, because we want to know what you're interested in doing. And if there's like any larger projects that you guys want to do, feel free to let us know too.
All right.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, if there's no more questions, then I'm going to go ahead and close out the meeting. And
Wait,
we
Steven,
will.
do you want to stay for a second just to talk after everybody leaves?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pause.